Oh man, we are back. We are back, man. Shout out to my people. Tap on in with your boy. Yeah, man. You should already know what it is by now. I'm pretty sure you do. Yeah. Yes, you do. Uh, Hold on one second, man, as we get prepared for some of this content. Man, I just put this in the title, man. We can talk about whatever, really. We can talk about whatever. Trying to post something up, man, you know. Once again, what's up? What's up? All right, let me put that over there. Shout out to everybody, man. You know what it is. I did a live stream last night, and it was it was pretty cool. I was just clowning for real, but at the same time, I was serious. You know how I do, man. You already know. You already know how I do. What's up, man? What's up, man? Shout out to my people, man, for tapping in with us. What's up? I appreciate it, man. Salute. Yeah, man. So just a little topic that we could chop it up about. But then listen, man, we could chop it up about anything y'all want. But I want to get into this. I want to get into this Gucci Mane POOH SHIESTY thing. Vernon 85, man, you've been rocking for a long time, man. So salute. What's happening with you? Ain't nothing changed, man. Just a whole nother, just a different day. Just a different day, man, He said, what up, man? What up? What up? What up? What up? What y'all doing, man, for the 4th of July? Will these Sambos make videos? Will Sambos make videos disrespecting the 4th of July? Oh my. I don't think they will. I think they're going to show the utmost respect for the 4th of July. I don't think they're going to disrespect it. Right? I think you understand it, man. So, Lou, shout out, shout out. You got Sambos calling themselves Django when they're disrespecting Juneteenth is crazy. It's crazy, man. But hey, man, we're gonna talk about it. Now, I want to get into this story real quick, man, and I'm gonna say happy birthday. I appreciate everybody for the happy birthday shout outs for the show. But it's just another day, man. It ain't no big thing. We just do a little bit of celebrating for the hell of it. Let's get it. Another nephew on the way, man. It is what it is, man. But listen, shout out to you. Congratulations. Shout out to the fam, bro. Now, POOH SHIESTY robs Gucci Mane on camera. That has to be some of the dumbest stuff that that I ever heard of, which is crazy. Like, you robbed this man. These dudes were so dumb. This is what I'm gonna do, man. Before I do this, shout out to Hood Educated. I'm glad you made it. Check it out.
The federal government says rapper POOH SHIESTY is simply too dangerous to be out on bond.
Gucci Mane.
Hood Educated. I'm glad you made it. Shout out to the bro doing good work. But check it out, man. I want you to see one of the dumbest criminals in the history of criminality. Let's get down to it, baby. He said, hold on. Shout out to Scoop. I appreciate it, Scoop. I know Big E got a birthday coming up too. He said, Cat 6 said, Red, did you see the news story of the Hoovers getting hit with a RICO act for trafficking? First of its kind. The feds call it broken blade. Nah, man, you know what? I heard when they locked up, like when they locked up what's the dude name? Now I did a story, right? They some of them went to jail. Some of them did get indicted, right? But I think this right here is like the update. So I'm gonna check it out, man. But shout out to Cat 6 Cable Guy for dropping that in the comments. I want everybody to tap in. Let's get it. I don't know what the
went public with footage of POOH SHIESTY robbing. And if you think you know what happened between these two, you do not have the full picture yet. Because this is not just about a beef, a diss track, or an internet rumor. There is actual footage. There are federal charges. And Gucci Mane is cooperating with the government to make sure POOH SHIESTY never sees the outside of a prison again. His own security guard wrote a letter to the judge specifically asking that SHIESTY not be given bond. Let that register for a second. The man who signed POOH SHIESTY, who held his spot on the label while he was locked up, who publicly kept him on the roster when everyone else got dropped. That same man is now sitting on the other side of a federal case, and the tape he has could be what sends SHIESTY away for life. Federal kidnapping charges, a weapon allegedly pointed at Gucci's face, and SHIESTY was still on supervised release from his last conviction when this allegedly went down. One charge alone carries a potential life sentence, and the people closest to this case are not treating it like a rap beef. They are treating it like the end. Now, behind that headline is a story that goes so much deeper than what most people cover.
Now,
we went through.
Now, I want y'all to understand something, man, about how this go. Now, they're gonna say, "Oh man, Gucci snitching, Gucci telling." Right now, I ain't got a dog in the fight. Am I mad at Gucci for telling? Absolutely not. Do I understand why the street people are saying what they're saying? Absolutely. Trust and believe, I get it. Gucci is Gucci, man. So it is what it is. So Gucci got to make a decision. Do I keep my fans happy, or do I do what's best for my money and my career? Excuse me. My money, my career, and my family. I think Gucci's going to do what's best for his money, career, and family. You know, once you get to Gucci's level in the rap game, you're solidified, you're successful. Can't nobody take that away. Now, you're going to have people throwing smut on your name, saying this and saying that. But does it really matter? When your family is taken care of at the end of the day, they living good, don't want for nothing, don't need nothing.
Federal criminal complaint, the FBI affidavit, the court filings, the detention hearing transcripts, and the full documented timeline of how Gucci Mane and POOH SHIESTY went from one of the most promising partnerships in Southern rap to a federal kidnapping case with a potential life sentence on the table. And trust us, the real story hits different. Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome back. If you are new here, we do not do surface level breakdowns on this channel. We go deep, we go documented, and we make sure every layer of the story gets its proper treatment. Now the real story is
this right here is Rap Dynasty. Shout out to Rap Dynasty, man. Hey man, a lot of you guys are detectives, man, and I give you guys your props. I'm just speaking on the street code and how it go in jail, and I'm speaking on it from that aspect. Now, if you want to get documents and paperwork, salute to you for doing your homework, man. Cause I ain't finna do all that. I'm gonna let you detectives dig into the case, break down the documents, and I'm gonna give and I'm gonna speak on things from my perspective, me being from the streets myself, right? Hey man, check it.
Than the headline, because what Gucci did, how the evidence came out, and what the feds say happened inside that studio, that is the part nobody fully explained. So let us go back to where POOH SHIESTY started. Launtrell Donnell Williams Jr. was born on November 8, 1999. in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, for those who might not know the culture, Memphis rap has always had its own DNA. Gritty, stripped back, street rooted, with a rawness that does not apologize for itself. This is the city that gave us 3 6 Mafia, Yo Gotti, Young Dolph. Artists who came up making music that felt less like performance and more like testimony. And SHIESTY fit that mold perfectly from the jump. He started putting out music independently in 2019, with his debut single Hell Night generating real attention locally and across the South. He was building organically, single by single, without the machinery of a major label behind him. But the voice was undeniable. The energy was undeniable. And it was not long before somebody with major pull noticed. That somebody was Radrick Atlantic Davis. You know him as Gucci Mane, Guwap, Wap, one of the founding fathers of trap music, a man who in the mid-2000s was helping create the sonic blueprint that would eventually influence an entire generation of rappers. Gucci had already launched and developed careers including Young Thug, and had earned a Grammy nomination for his appearance on Lizzo's track, Exactly How I Feel. He is one of the figures who literally built the sound that made Atlanta the capital of rap. And in 2020, after years of rebuilding his own brand following personal and legal setbacks of his own, Gucci was running 1017 Records, now rebranded as the New 1017, and was actively looking for the next generation of talent to anchor the imprint. In April 2020, Gucci Mane signed POOH SHIESTY to a joint venture deal with 1017 Records and Atlantic Records. According to reporting from Billboard, the deal was said to be worth $10 million. Now let me break down for y'all what that actually means for a rapper who had been grinding independently out of Memphis. That was not just a business deal. That was a stamp, a cosign from one of the most respected names in Southern rap, paired with the distribution power of one of the biggest labels in the world. SHIESTY himself spoke about why he chose Gucci's imprint, saying, "I don't know who else I would go to. Ain't nobody was coming at me like WAP. It just made perfect sense." They celebrated the signing by releasing a collaborative single together. They were out there presenting a mentor-protege dynamic to the world. And for a minute, it felt like the beginning of something historic. The momentum from that signing was immediate. Gucci started putting SHIESTY on key 1017 projects, including So Icy Summer, a compilation that dropped in July 2020, and introduced SHIESTY to a national audience. Collaborations like Still Remember and Who Is Him with Gucci began stacking up. Then on November 6, 2020, SHIESTY released Back in Blood featuring Lil Durk. That record became his highest charting solo moment up to that point, peaking at number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. He also appeared on Spot 'em Got 'em's Beatbox 2 remix, which peaked at number 12 on the same chart. Within less than a year of signing, POOH SHIESTY was already placing records inside the top 15 of the biggest singles chart in the world. He was named an XXL freshman. He was named Billboard's Hip Hop Rookie of the Month. The machine was working, and SHIESTY was the engine. Then came February 5th, 2021, SHIESTY Season. His debut mixtape dropped as a 17-track project featuring Lil Durk, Gucci Mane, Big 30, 21 Savage, and more. It debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 with 62,000 album equivalent units in its opening week. That is not a soft debut. That is a statement. That is the kind of first project performance that most rappers dream about their entire careers and never reach. Gucci had bet on a winner, and SHIESTY had delivered. But here is where it gets real spicy. Because in October 2020, even before the mixtape dropped, SHIESTY had been arrested in connection with a shooting in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida, at a property called the Landon Hotel. He was initially released from custody, and things kept moving. Then in June 2021, he was arrested again, this time in connection with a Memorial Day weekend shooting at a strip club in Miami-Dade County. And later that same month, he was formally indicted on 4 counts related to the October 2020 shooting. The federal charges described a situation in which prosecutors alleged that SHIESTY and co-conspirators arrived to purchase marijuana, codeine, and sneakers from 2 individuals. During that meetup, the feds said a member of his group produced a weapon and 2 victims were shot. Both survived. Now check it. Investigators later tied SHIESTY to the scene through what has to be one of the most...
SHIESTY got to make up his mind, bro. Do you want to be a rapper, or a real street ninja? Right? Like, at some point, man, you got to pick a side. You want to be a real ninja, you want to be a rapper. At some point, man, you got to pick a side. POOH SHIESTY is I'll let it play, man. I don't want to disrespect the brother, but I will say, man, POOH SHIESTY, you got to be one of the dumbest criminals in the history of criminality. Just dumb.
Internet era pieces of evidence imaginable. His own Instagram. Investigators discovered that a Louis Vuitton bag found in the parking lot of the Landon Hotel was the same one SHIESTY had been posting on his social media. And then it got even more specific. Some of the $100 bills in that bag had the same serial numbers as bills visible in close-up shots SHIESTY had posted online. His own flex post helped place him at the scene. That is some real poetic irony right there. Now throughout 2021 and early 2022, the case evolved significantly. By the time
Get the
SHIESTY
likes
entered
up, you guys. I know it's moving kind of slow, but get the likes up and show some love and respect. Let's get it.
guilty plea in January 2022, the charges had been narrowed down to a single count: conspiracy to possess firearms in furtherance of crimes of violence and drug trafficking. As part of the plea deal, prosecutors dropped 3 other charges, including one that had carried a potential life sentence. On April 20th, 2022, U.S. District Judge Kevin Michael Moore sentenced Lontrell Williams Jr. to 63 months in federal prison, 5 years and 3 months, along with 3 years of supervised release. He was also ordered to pay $35,000 in restitution. His attorney Bradford Cohen noted after the sentencing that SHIESTY was happy the judge listened to our argument, and that both attorney and client were pleased with the outcome given the maximum exposure they had been facing. At the time of sentencing, SHIESTY was 22 years old, and SHIESTY's season had peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. He was in the middle of one of the most promising rookie runs in modern rap, and then it all stopped. The album momentum, the feature placements, the potential sophomore project that would have cemented his standing. All of it paused because of decisions made outside the studio. But here is where it gets interesting.
Right, decisions made outside of the studio. But then we got to think, POOH SHIESTY, he's young, man. We was dumb when we was young, right? But now they're dumber because you have these electronic gadgets where they're recording. You got to think. I was in my 20s in the 2000s. In the 2000s, I was in my 20s, right? But we didn't have YouTube and all this little Instagram and stuff like this. Now, all this is just self-incriminating. It's self-incriminating. I got to say, this is the dumbest era of, this is the dumbest, some of the dumbest group of criminals that I've ever seen. It's easy work nowadays, man. Let me tell you something. Do you know old school detectives? Old school detectives really don't respect the new school detectives because they really ain't got to do all that work. They really ain't got to do all that work. They can sit back and just let people in. They can sit back and watch people incriminate themselves. Back in the 90s, the early 2000s, you had to do real detective work. Like if you caught somebody back in the 90s for a crime, you really had to do work. The criminals wasn't telling on themselves like the criminals are doing now. So they get on these electronic devices, they get to talking, and they make the job that much easier for law enforcement. Let's get back to it. So we got some of the laziest detectives and some of the dumbest criminals. There you go.
During his absence, Gucci Mane made a significant public statement about the 1017 roster. In a video posted around October 2024, Gucci announced that he was releasing nearly his entire artist roster, citing profit and loss decisions. But notably, he made a point of keeping 2 names, Fugiano and POOH SHIESTY. Even with SHIESTY locked up and his release date roughly 18 months away at that point, Gucci publicly held that spot. He confirmed again to TMZ in 2025 that SHIESTY remains signed. Now for y'all who know how the industry works, that kind of loyalty from a label boss toward an incarcerated artist is genuinely rare. Most labels move on, most rosters get restructured, and the artist coming home finds the door closed. Gucci kept it open. And in retrospect, that makes what allegedly came next even more difficult to process. SHIESTY was released early from federal prison on October 6, 2025, having served approximately 3 years of his sentence under the First Step Act, a 2018 bipartisan criminal justice reform law that allows federal inmates to earn credits toward early release through good behavior and program participation. His original projected release date had been April 11, 2026, meaning the early release shaved roughly 6 months off his time. His attorney Bradford Cohen released a statement saying he was elated that SHIESTY had come home and that he believed it was just the beginning of his second act. And for a moment, it really looked like that. On December 12, 2025, POOH SHIESTY dropped FDO, his first post-prison single. The song debuted at number 22 on the Billboard Hot 100 and shot to number 1 on both Billboard's Hot R&B Hip-Hop Songs and Hot Rap Songs charts. Real talk, a comeback track reaching number 1 on the rap chart after 3 years away from the game is not just a strong showing. It is a signal that the audience had waited, that they were ready, that despite everything, the commercial pull was still there. The comeback narrative was writing itself, and the industry was watching. But here is where the story gets deeper than just a feel-good return, because underneath that momentum, something else was reported.
But it shows that POOH SHIESTY had loyal fans, right? So POOH SHIESTY had it made. You did all that time in prison, and you were still relevant when you came home because your fans is really rocking with you. So instead of you pulling out weapons on Gucci, man, you should have put some of that bread up to renegotiate your contract instead of thinking you can just run in there, pull out guns, get them to sign it, and that's it. And you're going to ride off into the sunset. Nah, homie, it don't work like that. Nah, you're going to pull out straps, force him to sign you out of the contract, and then ride off in the mother effing sunset. Man, that's crazy.
The building. According to a federal criminal affidavit filed by FBI agent Brittany Garcia, SHIESTY was dissatisfied with the terms of his existing recording contract with 1017 Records. Public reporting from Complex and other outlets also indicated that around this time, Yo Gotti and his CMG label had expressed interest in signing SHIESTY, which would have meant directly competing with Gucci Mane for the rapper's services. Now let me break down why that matters. The relationship between Gotti and Gucci has historically been complicated going back years. Two powerful Southern label bosses with overlapping rosters and competing interests. So the idea of SHIESTY potentially jumping from 1017 to CMG was not just a business transaction. It was loaded with history. And it is in that context, contract frustration, competing label interest, and the weight of a deal signed 6 years earlier under very different circumstances, that prosecutors say the events of January 10th, 2026 were set in motion. So check it. According to federal court documents, SHIESTY arranged a meeting with Gucci Mane and others to take place at a recording studio on Dallas Parkway. The stated purpose was to discuss the terms of his recording contract with 1017 Records. Gucci Mane, referred to in the federal complaint only as RD, traveled to Dallas along with 2 other individuals described as music industry professionals. These 3 men flew into the city on a Saturday afternoon, believing they were walking into a business meeting. What prosecutors allege happened instead is the kind of thing that reads more like a movie than a real event. According to the affidavit, once the 3 victims entered the studio, SHIESTY asked to speak with the label owner privately in a recording room. Gucci Mane entered that room with SHIESTY, along with SHIESTY's father, Lontrell Williams Sr., and fellow Memphis rapper Rodney Wright Jr., known as Big 30. What was described as a private business conversation then allegedly took a violent turn. Prosecutors say SHIESTY produced contract termination paperwork and told the label owner to sign it. When the label owner refused, SHIESTY allegedly reached into a bag and pulled out a black AK-style pistol, pointing it directly at
Sign it. Sign it now. And Gucci like, all right, man, look. This is what they did. Sign it. Sign it now. Then Gucci get the pen. He signed the contract. All right, brother, what else you want? Go on about your business. You got everything. Well, POOH SHIESTY is looking at life in the penitentiary. And you think about it like, whoa, brother, you threw your whole life away. You had a promising career. You got fans just rocking with you. They spending money. You getting bread. Somebody told POOH SHIESTY that it was a good idea to rob Gucci Mane at gunpoint and force him to sign the contract. Somebody convinced him that that was a great idea.
Gucci Mane and demanding he sign. According to the affidavit, he did sign. And once he had, SHIESTY allegedly took his wedding ring, watch, earrings, and cash. The real kicker, though, is what was happening simultaneously on the other side of that studio door. While Gucci was in that recording room, the other defendants allegedly produced firearms and moved against the two remaining victims outside. One victim, identified in court documents only as MM, was choked from behind to the point of near unconsciousness and had a Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag, and other items stolen. Another victim was pushed onto a couch and robbed of his wallet and jewelry. Big 30, according to prosecutors, physically blocked the studio door with his body to prevent anyone from escaping. And according to the complaint, at some point during the confrontation,
I mean, you saying like Gucci didn't have to tell, the other people did. Well, he had to, because like if Gucci wanted to protect his contract, he's gonna have to pretty much say the same thing that the other people are saying, or they're gonna say, well, how can we prove that you signed this contract out of duress? How can we prove that? So if there's no proof that he signed it under duress, then POOH SHIESTY gets out of the contract, Gucci loses money. So in Gucci mind, Gucci felt like he had to snitch. It was like either I snitch or lose millions of dollars. Do I be loyal to this ninja who pulled the gun on me and robbed me for my jewelry and robbed my team for their jewelry? Do I keep it street and not say nothing? Or do I tell him he robbed me at gunpoint to protect my assets, to protect my riches? You see what I'm saying? So Gucci had a decision to make. He said, do I keep it street or do I protect my business? Do I protect my money? Do I protect my investments? Gucci chose to protect his money and investments. He said, the hell with the street people. You ain't finna just rob me and I'm gonna sit up there and lose millions. Nah.
Believe they might be killed. Now, this is where we got to address the evidence, because this is where the prosecution's case gets very specific. The electronic monitoring data from SHIESTY's ankle bracelet, which he was still wearing as a condition of his supervised release from the 2022 conviction, showed him at the studio location on January 10th, directly contradicting any claim that he was not present. For y'all who might not know, when you are on home confinement after a federal sentence, that ankle monitor is pinging your location constantly. There is no window to say you were somewhere else. Cell phone records and license plate reader data also corroborated that several defendants had traveled together from Memphis to Dallas in the days leading up to the incident and stayed at a Dallas hotel.
Right, man. So it's like they got everything, bro. They really got everything. See, Gucci snitched for I think Gucci really wanted to protect, you know, his investment. Because if Gucci don't tell what happened, then he can't claim that he signed the contract under duress. He can't claim that. So once that goes out of the window, he lose millions. So they said, Gucci, man, the only way you're going to protect this bread, you got to say you signed it under duress. But then you say, well, if the feds already had the video, why do they need Gucci to say anything? Now, check this. The feds had the video. You know how they got the video? They took everybody's phones and they went into everybody's phones. They got to listen. This is why things take time. They got a warrant, a search warrant to go in their phones. The judge approved that he can go through all their electronic devices, watch everything they do on social media. So they seen that they was going to Dallas. They pinged everybody's cell phones around the time of the crime. They posted the incriminated video, which was dumb. They posted the stolen jewelry. So the feds had everything. Gucci, man, telling the feds what happened is like the icing on the cake. Even though they got the cake, they got everything together. Gucci just put the icing on it and the cherry on top by saying, yeah, man, they waved guns in my face and told me to sign it. Matter of fact, here's the video. The feds said, okay, we already got the video. We just want to get your statement. We want to hear it out of your mouth, but we already got the video, bro.
Surveillance footage blocked the studio door with his body to prevent anyone from escaping. And according to the complaint, at some point during the confrontation, the victims believed they might be killed. Now, this is where we got to address the evidence, because this is where the prosecution's case gets very specific. The electronic monitoring data from SHIESTY's ankle bracelet, which he was still wearing as a condition of his supervised release from the 2022 conviction, showed him at the studio location on January 10th, directly contradicting any claim that he was not present. For y'all who might not know, when you are on home confinement after a federal sentence, that ankle monitor is pinging your location constantly. There is no window to say you were somewhere else. Cell phone records and license plate reader data also corroborated that several defendants had traveled together from Memphis to Dallas in the days leading up to the incident and stayed at a Dallas hotel after it was over. Surveillance footage from the studio and surrounding businesses was cited in the complaint. Fingerprint evidence recovered from items inside the studio, including red plastic cups, reportedly tied multiple defendants to the scene, and prosecutors also pointed to social media posts made by several defendants in the hours and days after the incident, where they were allegedly seen displaying large amounts of cash and jewelry believed to have been taken in the robbery. But yo, this is where the story gets even more calculated. The affidavit states that SHIESTY's father, Lantrell Williams Sr., also a named defendant, visited a Staples store hours before the meeting, where investigators believe the contract release documents used in the alleged extortion were printed. The implication being that the termination paperwork was prepared in advance, that the entire meeting was constructed from the beginning as a setup. This was not a confrontation that escalated. According to prosecutors, it was planned. Now let's talk about Big 30 specifically, because his role goes deeper than just being a co-defendant. Rodney Wright Jr. has been SHIESTY's closest musical collaborator going back to their independent Memphis days. Their 2019 debut, Hell Night, was the record that started everything for both of them. According to prosecutors, Big 30's alleged role in the Dallas studio was not passive. The affidavit says he physically handed SHIESTY the bag containing the AK-style pistol, filmed Gucci Mane on his cell phone as he was allegedly forced to sign the contract release under duress, and barricaded the studio.
You know, he had to prove, if you want to prove that you want to prove that you signed this under duress, well, you gotta give a statement. You gotta tell us what happened. We already got the video, Gucci. So what does Gucci Mane do? Tell them everything they need to know. Plus, they already got the video. You talk about stupid criminals. This dude was wearing an ankle bracelet. And on top of that, they pinging your cell phone. Do you guys remember when all these idiots was running around saying they ain't really got nothing on POOH SHIESTY? Just repeating stupid stuff that they seen in YouTube videos. Not doing no real homework. Not taking the time to see what really happened. You know how many dummies came in my comments saying the feds ain't really got nothing on POOH SHIESTY? No, man, feds ain't really got nothing. Just sounding stupid. Just sounding dumb. No, man, I ain't really got nothing on them.
Door with his body to prevent anyone from escaping. When he was arrested, law enforcement reportedly found firearms in his vehicle. The career implications for him are just as severe as for SHIESTY. In April 2026, prosecutors filed a motion arguing Big 30 should remain detained, specifically because he was on the verge of signing a 7-figure recording deal, framing that contract not as a stabilizing factor but as a flight risk. A Tennessee judge initially granted him a $100,000 bond, but Texas District Court Judge Ed Kinkead immediately stayed that order. The deal that should have been the biggest moment of his career became a document prosecutors used against him in a detention brief. On April 2nd and 3, 2026, 8 of the 9 defendants were arrested across Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. The 9th was still being sought at the time.
Man, I'm telling you, man, they ain't really got nothing on POOH SHIESTY. Why was they saying that? Because people watch social media and they repeat things that they hear without even having the full understanding of what really took place. You know, oh man, they ain't got nothing, man. Shut your dumb ass up. They got a whole lot of evidence. The feds don't arrest you unless they got something. And when you think about POOH SHIESTY, the man had an ankle monitor on. And on top of that, they pinged the cell phones. Seeing what towers the signals was bouncing off, right? So the feds had everything. Cooperating eyewitness and stone cold evidence, plus the video. Cooperating witnesses, a self-incriminating video, ankle monitors, surveillance inside of the studio. I mean, the feds got the whole enchilada. I'm talking about the whole shebang. So when I heard these dummies kept saying, no, they really ain't got nothing, just sounding dumb.
The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas, led by Ryan Raybould, held a press conference announcing the charges. Raybould called SHIESTY the ringleader of the conspiracy and described what allegedly happened plainly. The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence. On April 28th, a federal grand jury returned an 18-page formal indictment, unsealed shortly after, charging all 9 defendants. The indictment included 5 counts. Count 1 charging conspiracy to commit kidnapping spanning early January through January 13, 2026. Counts 2 through 4 charging substantive kidnapping and extortion, including aiding and abetting liability. And count 5 charging 4 of the co-defendants with transporting stolen goods across state lines. The government also sought forfeiture of all proceeds and assets tied to the alleged offenses. All 9 defendants face up to life imprisonment if convicted on the kidnapping conspiracy count alone. On April 8th and 9, 2026, a detention hearing was held before U.S. Magistrate Judge Renee Harris Tolliver in Dallas. This is where both sides laid out their arguments publicly for the first time, and it is worth breaking down what each side is actually working with. On the prosecution side, the ankle monitor data placing SHIESTY at the scene, the Staples receipt tied to his father, the social media posts showing stolen jewelry, the license plate reader data showing the group traveling from Memphis to Dallas together, fingerprint evidence from the studio, and the fact that SHIESTY was 2022 conviction at the time. Prosecutors also noted that Gucci Mane's wedding ring, watch, and earrings were taken. Personal items, not just cash, which adds a layer of premeditated humiliation to the alleged robbery that is hard to explain away.
Sign it, Gucci, sign it. Sign it now. Then Gucci like, sign it, Gucci. Sign it now. And Gucci take the pen. You know, they got Gucci man fearing for his life. You better sign it now.
Misunderstanding. On the defense side, the arguments are focused on the gaps. The FBI admitted during the hearing that they had not directly interviewed Gucci Mane or the other victims at the time of the arrest, relying instead on statements given to Dallas police at the scene. SHIESTY's attorneys called it a he said type of case, and flagged the 3-month delay between the January incident and the April arrest as a significant procedural concern. The defense also pointed out that the contract document prosecutors described as the centerpiece of the extortion, the signed release from 1017 Records, had not been recovered or produced in court at the time of the detention hearing. No contract, no video of the alleged signing, and no direct FBI interviews with the primary victim. Those are real holes that the defense will lean on hard at trial. Williams was seen repeatedly shaking his head during testimony, but Judge Tolliver ordered him to remain in custody regardless, stating plainly, "I find that the weight of the evidence against you is strong." SHIESTY was transferred to the Kaufman County Jail in mid-April. At the end of April, he filed a motion requesting new counsel, which was granted. In early May 2026.
Listen, man, I need all of you guys to bless the like button. The least you can do is bless the damn like button, man. Bless the like button and quit playing with this game, man. Salute. Come on now. Don't play with it. Sign the contract now, Gucci. Sign it.
He entered a plea of not guilty to all counts. By mid-May, a trial date had been set, July 6, 2026, in federal court in Dallas with a final pretrial conference scheduled for July 1st. As of the writing of this script, the case is in pretrial status with all 9 defendants facing the same charges and the same legal standard of innocent until proven guilty. Now let me break down what the realistic outcomes look like going into that July trial. Federal kidnapping convictions carry some of the heaviest sentencing exposure in the entire federal code. Under 18 U.S.C. Section 1201, a conviction can result in life in prison, and if prosecutors argue victims were not released unharmed, a mandatory minimum of 20 years can apply. Beyond that, SHIESTY is also facing potential supervised release violations from his 2022 Florida conviction. meaning any new sentence could run consecutively on top of whatever the court already imposed, not alongside it. For Big 30, the exposure is identical. If the defense succeeds in creating reasonable doubt, particularly around the missing contract document, the delayed arrests, and the lack of direct FBI interviews with the primary victim, an acquittal or hung jury is procedurally possible. But federal conviction rates in the United States consistently run above 85%, and cases built on electronic monitoring data, fingerprints, surveillance footage, and social media evidence are difficult to overcome at trial. The government's case has real gaps, but it also has multiple independent layers of documented evidence. That is the reality SHIESTY's new legal—
Sign it, Gucci! Sign it! And they got the Draco. And then you got old boy in the video, got Draco on Gucci, telling them, break yourself, sign the contract. And for some reason, POOH SHIESTY truly believed that they would get away with it. That's what he thought. Oh, man, don't need any trip, man. We're going to get away with it. We're going to rob Gucci. We're going to get you out of that contract, and we're going to ride on off into the sunset. That's exactly what he was thinking.
Team is walking into on July 6. Now let's talk about Gucci Mane's public response, because this is actually where the internet narrative that drove that headline took on so much momentum. Gucci Mane did not hold a press conference. He did not drop a YouTube video. He did not release surveillance footage personally. What he did do was release a song. On April 10th, 2026, Gucci dropped a track called Crash Dummy, produced by Zaytoven, and the lyrics spoke directly to the emotional weight of being set up by someone in your inner circle. Without naming SHIESTY explicitly, the references were unmistakable. Lines about walking into a room and feeling betrayal forming around him, about people smiling in your face before stabbing you in the back, a line about not biting the hand that feeds you, and perhaps most pointed of all, a line that roughly translates to, after everything I did for you, you were still signed to me. That last line hit differently because it was not just emotional. It was a direct reference to the documented business relationship that allegedly sat at the center of everything. That song is where the online narrative crystallized. Commentary channels picked it up. Clips were reposted. Captions started describing Gucci as revealing everything and dropping the tape. The word tape started circulating as shorthand for both the song and the idea of footage, which blurred what Gucci actually did.
And then you think, listen, bro, do you really think these dudes gonna sit up there and serve all that time? No, what they're gonna do is they're gonna say, hey, man, I got kids, man. They talking about 30 years. Hell no, I can't do 30. I got kids. It's Wooty Whoop fault for recording it in the first place. See, what happens is once the feds or the state get to talking 30 and 40, that's gonna change the whole story. That's when it becomes every man for himself. Then they'll start to justify why they're gonna snitch. Man, ninjas ain't putting money on my books anyway. Ain't nobody got me no lawyer. It's Wooty Whoop fault why we in here in the first place. Man, I got kids. I can't sit up in here and do 30. So the feds come up to you like, hey, man, give us information. We don't really want you. You're gonna have to do some time. We'll give you a 5-piece. But you got to tell us who planned it, who put it together, who was the muscle, who were the enforcers, and who was the main man that put everything together. We don't really want you. If you cooperate, you'll get 3 to 5 years. Cooperate now, and we'll give you 3 to 5 years. So he get to thinking about it like, damn, man, I got kids. I don't want nobody sleeping with my woman. I want to get out here. I want to stay out here and, and keep this money. So what does he do? He starts to think about himself and say, I'm going to tell for this reason. I can't sit up there and do 30. I got kids. So that becomes the mentality. Survival of the fittest. Every man for himself. Listen, homie, once the feds get to talking 30, ain't no more loyalty. Ain't no more gang. Ain't no more loyalty when the feds get to talking 20. When the feds get to talking about serving 30 to 40. Nah, homie. That loyalty goes out of the window at that point. Every man starts to think for himself.
Drop a diss track with the notion that he had personally exposed damning video evidence. That is how the headline you clicked on came to exist. The internet compressed the
That's exactly what happened, Scoop. Once they start talking 30, man, it's Wooty Whoop fault why we in here anyway. He the one that recorded it. I told him not to record it. You see what I'm saying? So Once that happens, everybody starts to think for themselves because they say, well, you know what? The feds offer me a deal. They say I can come home and fine, but I gotta testify. I gotta get on the stand. I gotta give all the information. And in exchange for my cooperation, I can come home in 3 to 5 years and I can still raise my kids. If I don't snitch, I'm gonna sit up there and do 30. Niggas ain't got me no lawyer. Ain't nobody paid my attorney. Ain't nobody put no bread up for my legal defense. So that's what they start thinking. They start thinking of ways to blame somebody else in order to justify the fact that they are getting ready to snitch, to justify that they're getting ready to testify. So that's justification, and that's all they need. That's all a ninja need when he's looking at 30. I'm telling you.
Criminal complaint, a detention hearing, a diss track, and 5 years of professional history into a single sentence. And then that sentence travels faster than any of the actual details could follow. Now, this ain't just about the internet getting it wrong. This is about something much deeper. Because the Gucci SHIESTY story, it was a mentorship story. And in hip-hop, that dynamic carries real weight. A cosign from someone like Gucci Mane is not just a business transaction. It is a vouching. It is someone putting their name and credibility behind yours and telling the entire industry this person is worth betting on. Gucci kept SHIESTY on the 1017 roster even as nearly every other artist was dropped. He publicly defended that business relationship even while SHIESTY was serving federal time. And then, if the allegations are accurate, the first major move SHIESTY made after coming home was to fly to Dallas and allegedly put a gun in that same man's face over a contract dispute. If true, that is not just a crime. It is a complete inversion of everything a cosign is supposed to mean. The real kicker, though, is the timing. SHIESTY walked out of federal prison in October 2025, having already served time on a gun conspiracy conviction. He was on home confinement. He had an ankle monitor. He had conditions on his release that were explicit. No new federal offenses, no firearms. And if the government's version of events is accurate, he allegedly violated every single one of those conditions within about 3 months of getting home. The comeback single had just gone #1. The industry was ready to welcome him back. And allegedly, none of that was enough. And on a purely business level, the implications are staggering. Label deals, touring schedules, a long-delayed sophomore album, all of it was on the table for SHIESTY. A second chapter that outperforms the first is rare, but his numbers after release suggested it was possible. All of that is now on pause, pending a federal kidnapping trial with a potential life sentence attached. For Gucci Mane and 1017 Records, the contract SHIESTY allegedly tried to force his way out of is still in legal limbo. There are broader questions about what this signals to other artists and potential signings going forward. A mentor's reputation is partly built on the outcomes of the people he bets on. When a bet turns into something like this, that equation gets complicated in ways no song or legal filing can fully untangle. Rap music has always wrestled with the tension between the persona an artist projects and the reality of the decisions they make. POOH SHIESTY's image was built on fearless authenticity, the balaclava, the Memphis aggression, the refusal to soften the edges. But there is a difference between an image and a life, between what moves units and what determines outcomes. And when those two things collapse into each other in a federal courtroom, the consequences are real in a way that streaming numbers cannot contain. At the end of the day, this story is not finished. The trial is set for July 2026. The defense has identified gaps in the government's case.
See, when you see kidnapping, is like, oh man, I didn't put nobody, I ain't gonna charge me with kidnapping. Man, I didn't sit up there and put nobody in the trunk. You ain't gotta put nobody in the trunk for it to be considered kidnapping. All it takes is for you. All it takes is for you to whip out a weapon and force somebody to move against their will. I believe it's like 10 feet. If you force somebody to move against their own will for 10 feet, that's considered kidnapping. And you're robbing them. So you're moving them at gunpoint. You're telling them, hey, man, get on over here, sit on over, get down, put your hands up. We're going to sit up there and tie you up. We ain't going to sit up there and put you in a trunk. Man, how they going to charge me with kidnapping? Man, I ain't put nobody in the trunk. Man, I ain't do all of that. This is why you got to know the laws as a criminal. It's very important that you understand the laws as a criminal. You move somebody against their will at gunpoint for like 10, 20 feet, that's considered kidnapping. You rob them of their jewelry. Now you got kidnapping and armed robbery plus conspiracy because you plan to do it. And you had other people who conspired in this with you. So it's a whole big thing. The feds got the whole shebang. They got the whole enchilada. POOH SHIESTY, you're looking at 40. You're looking at 40 in the penitentiary. Kidnapping, armed robbery. You took guns across state lines. You planned it. It was premeditated. It was a big old conspiracy. So now you're looking at 40 to 50 or even life in a penitentiary.
SHIESTY has pleaded not guilty. Big 30 and the other defendants face their own proceedings. Until a jury renders a verdict, the full legal truth of what happened on January 10th in that Dallas recording studio is still being determined by a process that moves on its own timeline, regardless of what the internet decided 2 days after the arrest. But what we can say with certainty right now is this: the relationship between Gucci Mane and POOH SHIESTY, one of the most promising mentor-protege dynamics in recent Southern rap, has ended in the most dramatic, documented, and publicly devastating way imaginable. A man who held a spot on a label roster for a young rapper during 3 years of federal incarceration ended up, according to prosecutors, with a gun pointed at him by that same rapper in a Dallas recording studio. And the song Gucci released in the aftermath speaks not in the language of a press release or a social media post, but in the language that rap artists have always used when words are the only instrument they have left. Bars, a beat, and the truth of what happened when the room went quiet and nobody was smiling anymore. The real question now is what July brings.
All right, so let's go to my man Hood Educated. I'm glad that you made it. Hood Educated. I'm glad that you made it. You know. So now that we got that out of the way, hey man, POOH SHIESTY, man, you looking at 40, Big 30. Now they say Big 30 is the only one who's out of jail. I think everybody else in jail. Big 30 got out on bail, right? You think Big 30 gonna raise money for their legal defense? Hell nah, Big 30 ain't gonna put up that bread for everybody's legal defense. Big 30 gotta save his own ass. Yeah, Big 30 gotta save his own ass. Yeah, homie, we talking about Big 30. The big homie. That's Hood Educated, man. This is my boy right here, man. This my boy right here, man. He be breaking things down. Cold-blooded demonstration. Shout out to Hood Educated. Let's hear things from a man's perspective. Microphone check. Get the lights up for your boy.
Here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Oh, shit. You dropping this dumb in. Bro, let him know it's a done deal. Why's it done deal?
Look, he pulled out the blank. Look, he pulled out the blammer. Look, this is how dumb he is. You got the Draco on Gucci. Hey, man, did you sign him out? Gucci like, yeah, man, I signed him out of the contract. Old boy whips out the Draco like, yeah, you damn right we got it.
Me out.
Oh, shit. You dropping this dumb.
That's Gucci in the yellow right there. Gucci in the yellow.
Point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You dropping this dumb in.
Bro, let them know it's a done deal. Why's it done deal? Let them know you dropping me,
I
bro.
drop you.
No, say it.
POOH SHIESTY dropping 1017.
Shout out to real nigga ain't never did no police shit or none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on.
Bro, we just did that. That's done.
What you do? You drop.
You said you want to be dropped, you dropped.
You signed the paper
I
and
signed the paper,
everything.
it's done. This shit, oh, shit.
This right here has to be the most dumbest criminal in the United States of America, in the whole wide world. You gonna record yourself committing a armed robbery, kidnapping, and you on federal parole. And you have a GPS monitor connected to you. Your probation officer or parole officer, whatever it is when you get out of the feds, right, calls you while you're on your way, or was he at the scene of the crime, and say, hey man, where you at? You know you ain't supposed to be over there. What is wrong? Listen, that parole officer that called him is going to be on the stand testifying, saying, yeah, you know, the GPS monitor tracked him over here at the scene of the kidnapping robbery. He wasn't supposed to be there. He was supposed to be at the halfway house, or the house that they had him at. You see? It's over with for him. And then you record yourself. You all on camera. You got your homeboy on camera with the Draco. You telling this man, hey man, what you do, man? Tell him, man. Tell him. Like,
right. He's sitting up there like, yeah, man, tell him. And Gucci like, and Gucci sitting up there looking like, man, hey man, it's a done deal. He out of the contract. They're like, nah, we want you to say it. Now, what makes you think that they're gonna uphold that in court? If anything, it's gonna get you time in the penitentiary. Yeah, man, I just want you to tell the camera that you dropped POOH SHIESTY out of the contract, and old boy standing there with the Draco. The whole time, Gucci man, like, man, it's a done deal. I already lit him up out of the contract. This has to be the dumbest shit that I ever seen. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? They just need to hear you. You know what I mean? The fans need to hear you say it, man. Say it again.
Who's going to believe that? You all on camera. You got your homeboy on camera with the Draco. You telling this man, hey man, what you do, man? Tell him, man. Tell him. Like, who's going to believe that? Look, I got to be 100, y'all. Gucci Mane ain't seem that scared. Gucci Mane seemed like he was, what you call it, annoyed. He didn't even seem that scared. He like, man, I told him, man, I did the paper and everything. You see? Man, what you do, man? Tell him, man, this, that. With yourself on camera. Come on. And then get to talk about some, man, it's real nigga, man. You know we ain't that nigga ain't never. Y'all, look, let me tell y'all something. These new generations.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a real ninja. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never cooperated. You know what I'm saying? Sat up there and did time in the feds, the state penitentiary. It wasn't nothing to a real one. I ain't never snitched. I ain't never told. I ain't never done no police stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homie Big 30. Yeah, you're gonna be doing 30. You know what I'm saying? A real ninja, though. You know what I'm saying? A straight goon, a certified hitter. You know what I'm saying, though? You looking like, man, you got to be the dumbest.
Crooks right here. Man, that's that. With yourself on camera. Come on. And then get to talking about some, man, it's real nigga, man. You know we ain't that nigga ain't never. Y'all, look, let me tell y'all something. These new generation crooks right here, look, they make it so easy.
Oh, man.
I can't even lie. They make it so easy for the police to lock them up. How you gonna use technology to commit a crime? The technology that they got, the technology that they can get anytime they want to. The same way they got that video. Crystal clear. Ain't no questions about it. That's POOH SHIESTY. That's Gucci Mane. The dude with the Draco. That right there is one of POOH SHIESTY goons. And you laying up here thinking that, man, look, I'm finna get out. You taking pictures showing your teeth and all that old type of stuff. No, you not. You not finna get, like, look. How can you deny that? Remember, his lawyers already came out, and they came out again to myself. Man, they ain't got nothing, man. You know, they ain't got nothing. I would like
to, man, and they kept saying, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They really ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, though? The feds ain't really ain't got, you know what I'm saying? Niggas locked up, man. You know what I'm saying? We locked up right now. But you know what I'm saying? They really ain't got nothing, though. You know what I'm saying? And if you believe that, you're just as if you believe that, you're just as dumb as them if you believe it. You know what I'm saying? They really ain't got nothing for real though. You know what I'm saying? Man, you got to be dumb to believe that. You think the feds gonna come and make all these arrests and they ain't got nothing? No, they really ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying though?
Believe right now that his lawyers, POOH Shiesty's lawyers, they just using him. They milking him for however much money he got left. They came out again to myself, man, they ain't got nothing, man. You know, they ain't got nothing. I would like to believe right now that his lawyers, POOH Shiesty's lawyers, they just using him. They milking him for however much money he got left. They milking him. No, don't worry about it. We gonna beat it. They ain't got nothing. Keep giving us that money. You see? And then when it come to the end, when he ain't got no more money, they gonna say, hey, look, man, we gave it a good shot, buddy. We gave it the best we can give it, but you know, they came at us with a deal for 35 years. I think you should consider taking that. You know, you'll get home and you'll be 50 years old, but you know, at least you won't do the rest of your life.
Yeah, man, you'll come home at 50. Go ahead and take 30. At least you can come home at 50. You ain't got to spend the rest of your life in the penitentiary. Okay, career gone. The best years of your life gone. You're washed up. You come home at 50. It's over. You got to get what you going to do when you come home at 50? Seriously. Hey, man, just go on and take the 30. If not, you're looking at life in the penitentiary. We're going to get you the best deal that we can get. Go on and take the plea deal for 30. Or take it to trial and risk getting life in the penitentiary. It's your choice. The choice is yours. You got a decision to make.
See? And money, they're going to say, hey, look, man, we gave it a good shot, buddy. We gave it the best we can give it, but you know, they came at us with a deal for 35 years. I think you should consider taking that. You know, you'll get home and you'll be 50 years old, but you know, at least you won't do the rest of your life. You see? And with POOH Shiesty, his mental defect, I believe he'll say, nah, we going to trial. They gonna have to give me life. You know, there's a saying that we used to say back in the day that they probably saying it in those county jails and in those prisons now. Lay me down or let me clown. You see? And what we used to mean by that is that, look, I'm going to trial. You're going to lay me down. You're going to give me all day. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison. Or I'm going to get acquitted and I'm going to be back out there clowning. You see? I believe he one of those type of guys. But you know what? I could be mistaken. Because on that last case, he did take a plea deal. So, you know, he might not be that foolish. He might not. You know, he might see the whole big picture and say, man, you know what? I really messed up this time. Now, I really got to sit down for a large amount of my life. Career is ruined. Gucci Mane still making money off of him. Because, I mean, think about it. They just released that song, A Mane, Say Mane, POOH Shiesty and Gorilla. The only way that they can get that song out there is that, look, Gucci had to sign on it. Hey, yeah, man, go on here.
Hey, man, you're looking at 30. So you can cooperate and listen, you can take it to trial. More than likely, you're going to lose because of all the evidence they got. Or cooperate, testify, get on the stand, and maybe we can get you 20 to 15. Because if you don't, oh man, that's too long, man. I ain't trying to be here 20 to 15 to 20. Well, if not, you're looking at 50 to life. Cooperate with us, come home in 15. If not, you'll be looking at 50 to life in the penitentiary. The choice is yours, buddy.
That'd be #1 hit. Y'all go ahead and let that go. Yeah. Because I need my money. Cold-blooded demonstration. So everything that POOH Shiesty did, all that hard work him and his homeboys did, I'm talking about traveling from Memphis, going to Houston, was for nothing. And the only benefit, the only reward for all that hard work is sitting there right now in a federal county jail, waiting to go to a federal prison. All that dedication, Blood, sweat, and tears. Pooh Shiesty, his father, Big 30, and all they homies that came with him. Yeah, y'all finna go to the federal pen. And his homies, yeah, they ain't got no lawyers. They dealing with public defenders right now. You see, Big 30, what he gonna do? Is he gonna, cause he's out now. What Big 30 gonna do? You think he finna give his hard-earned money, knowing that he can go to the penitentiary? You think he finna spend his hard-earned money on the rest of those goons? Hey, here go a lawyer for you. Here go a lawyer for. Here go a lawyer for you. No, he's not. It's time to be selfish now. Every man for themselves. All that, man. You know, I'll die for you, man. You know what I'm saying? We brother, man. You know what I'm saying? I love you. All that shit is out the window right now. Ain't none of that going on right now. Mm-hmm. All of them are sitting in that county jail trying to figure out how they're going to get up out this situation.
I've been saying that, bro. Once you get to looking at 20 or 30, ain't no more brotherhood, ain't no more loyalty. That is gone, man. Everybody is thinking about saving their own ass. Nah, homie, ain't no more loyalty when you know, once you get to looking at 30. Nah.
And a lot of them that's locked up with Pooh Shiesty, they might look at it like it's a sign of betrayal because they looking at him like, hey man, you got all this money. Big 30, y'all got all this money. Why we ain't got no lawyers? You see? Why we ain't bonding out? You see what I'm saying? So once they get to thinking like that, then it's time to turn. Man, I gotta preserve my life, bruh. I got kids out there because that's what happens when people get locked up. All of a sudden, they start thinking about their mama. They start thinking about their little sisters, their brothers, their kids. No, don't. That woman, oh, whew. They get to thinking about that woman and they call her and she on the phone crying. It just don't feel right with you not around no more. I miss you. I need you to be here. The kids crying. They be wait. They want you to be home with us. You shouldn't have went. I told you not to go. And he in there feeling all that right there. Then he get to thinking about Buffalo. I'm talking about Buffalo brothers coming through the crib, laying down real pipe on his baby mama, the one he loved. They got his kids. That
Hell yeah, when nigga get to thinking like that, man, listen, if you've been in the penitentiary of the county and you see cats in there stressing, he get to thinking about somebody laying pipe to his wife. He get to think about somebody laying that pipe down to his baby mama. He get to stressing. He thinking about coming home. Every night that he goes to sleep, he visualized somebody piping his wife down. It stresses him out. It gets the best of him. He wakes up depressed. He wakes up moody. And next thing you know, they say, hey, man, listen, I know you got kids. I know you got a career. Testify in exchange for 10 years. Maybe 5. But if you don't, you're looking at 40. You're going to spend the rest of your life in the penitentiary. So what do you think he's going to do when he's under all that pressure? You got to deal with the prison politics. There's gang fights. There's stabbings. You waking up every morning, toilets flushing. You got to smell when the next man boo-boo. You hear toilets flushing all night. Intercoms going off. Line it up for child. You're eating some of the nastiest food that you done ate. You're eating some of the nastiest food that you done ate in your life. You go to sleep, you wake up, and it's a constant reminder that you're locked up every time you wake up. You might even be having a good dream at night. You wake up as a constant reminder that you're in a penitentiary. So now you get to stressing about all of that. Somebody laying pipe to your woman. You can't see your kids. Your kids at home crying. They miss you. Your family miss you. Career gone. You're washed up. You're looking at 40. So what you think is going on in the mind of this individual? You think he ain't gonna listen, homie? They say, listen, tell us right now. We really want Pooh Shiesty. We really want the ringleaders. Give us the ringleaders. Tell us who planned it, who supplied the guns, who orchestrated everything. If you can testify and tell us all of that, maybe you could come home in 5 years. What you think he's going to do if he's sitting up in the county under all that pressure, dealing with all that stress? Waking up, taking showers, ain't nothing but men in the showers. Toilets flushing. You got to smell when the next man boo-boo. What you think he gonna do? No, man.
Oh, I miss you. I need you to be here. The kids crying. They be wait. They want you to be sisters. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once they get to thinking like that, then it's time to turn. Man, I gotta preserve my life, bruh. I got kids out there, because that's what happened when people get locked up.
Right.
All of a sudden, they start thinking about their mama. They start thinking about their little sisters, their brothers, their kids. No, don't. That woman, oh, whew. They get to thinking about that woman, and they call her, and she on the phone crying. It just don't feel right with you not around no more. I miss you. I need you to be here. The kids crying. They be wait. They want you to be home with us. You shouldn't have went. I told you not to go. And he in there feeling all that right there.
Oh, man.
Then he get to thinking about Buffalo. I'm talking about Buffalo brothers coming through the crib, laying down real pipe on his baby mama, the one he loved. They got his kids.
Oh, man, he can't take that.
Right there. Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when the prosecutor get to hollering at him. Hey, look, check this out. You know, we know you really wasn't a part of the whole thing. We really want POOH SHIESTY. We really want Big 30. Tell us what
Exactly, Biggie. Now, common sense start to kick in. Reality kicks in, which brings out common sense. You get to thinking about your life. You get to thinking about survival. You get to thinking about your woman, your family, and children. You like, nah, man, I'm going to tell to get out of jail. Niggas ain't got me no lawyer anyway. It's whoop-de-whoop fault why we in here in the first place. I told them not to record it. So then they begin to justify why they're getting ready to snitch. Man, I told such and such don't record it. I told such and such don't rob them for the jury. So then fingers start to point. That ain't nothing but justification for snitching. Because now you thinking about saving your own ass. No one wants to do 30 in the penitentiary. I don't give a damn how tough you are. I don't give a damn how many bodies you call. I don't give a damn how real you claim that, you know, you're going to sit up there and claim to be true to the game. None of that stuff matters once you get to looking at 30 in the penitentiary. All of that stuff goes out of the window. You're thinking about saving your own ass. All that loyalty, that's gone. All that brotherhood, all that old gang, nah, homeboy, that's gone. Don't nobody care about the gang once you get to looking at 30 in the penitentiary.
that right there. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. And then that's when the prosecutor get to hollering at him. Hey, look, check this out. You know, we know you really wasn't a part of the whole thing. We really want POOH SHIESTY. We really want Big 30. Tell us what happened. Break everything down to us. Get on the stand and testify against these guys. We're not gonna let you go, but we'll give you a better deal than we give those guys. What do you say? Alright, man, look, I'm gonna tell y'all how it all started, man. See, at first, I was at the crib. I ain't even really want to do it. I'm just finna be 100 with y'all. I ain't even really want to do it. But see, Pooh is the leader of the gang, you see, and by him being the leader, you know, I was compelled, I was forced to go, you know what I'm saying, because I ain't really want to do it. You can ask my baby mama, man, she'll even testify too, man, that I ain't even really want to do it, because I told her. These are the type of things that go down. Y'all might think it's funny. Y'all might be laughing right now like, hood, you tripping, bro. But this how it go down in them county jails. Mm-hmm. This how it really happens. Look, they get broke down. Look, just
listen, man. Prison will break you spiritually. It'll break you mentally. It'll break you down emotionally. Trust me, man. I seen some of the hardest goons break down. You know, when you got to live in those prison and county jail conditions, you stressing, you don't know how much time you're going to get. You going back and forth to court. You're going to court with other ninjas that's getting 10, 20, and 30. So you know damn well that you can get 30. You went to court last month and seen somebody just get 30 for a similar crime. So you understand the possibility. You know what comes with that. So you in there stressing every day, sleepless nights. You're eating dog food. Let me tell you guys something. People feed their dogs better food than what they get in prison, than what they get in the county jail. Let me say it again. You got people on the streets who feed their dogs better food than that food that you get in the county, than that food that you get in the penitentiary. You got people who won't even feed their dogs the food that they give these inmates, man. I'm telling you. You think about the living conditions in the county. You think about the stress, the sleepless nights, going back and forth to court, the stabbings, the gang fights, all the politics that comes with prison. Then you got to deal with the living conditions on top of the gang politics. You're stressed out about going to court. You don't know how much time you're going to sit up there and get. Listen, homie. Prison and county will break you spiritually. It will break you mentally. I promise you, homie. I've been there and I've seen it. I've been through it myself. Prison in the county jail has broke some of the toughest killers. It didn't broke some of the biggest hitters, some of the top shotters. Yeah, homie, it's all gang when you on the streets and you living under the sunshine and you know everything going good. But once you lose your freedom and you got to live with those prison and county jail conditions, I didn't see that break some of the toughest individuals. I promise you. I promise you.
Me for a minute. Them boys is in that county jail right now. They eating nasty food. Some of the worst food. They got to be in their cells probably by 9 o'clock, 9:15, 10. Right? Everything costs money. The phone calls cost money. If you want to buy some food, commissary, that costs money. If you want to get some proper hygiene, toothpaste, toothbrushes, that costs money. If you want to write letters to your woman and to your family, that costs money. The visits over the phone, that costs money. You see? Yeah, it's hard. It's pressure. And then you sitting in that cell, them doors slamming, boom. Your celly farting, shitting, and pissing. You got to smell that every day.
See, there's a rule in jail. There's a rule in prison. When you go to the toilet and you got to do number 2. Let's say you go to the toilet and you got to do number 2. Every time you drop a turd, you flush it. You don't let the boo-boo just fester in the toilet because then you're going to stink up the whole cell. You're going to stink up the whole dormitory. So the rule in the county and prison is when you boo-boo, every time you drop a turd, you flush the turd. So this is why you hear toilets flushing all day in the county. And it ain't, listen, homie, the toilets in the county and prison is nothing like the toilets at home. You know, you flush the toilet at home, you flush it, it goes down. Nah, man, when you flush them toilets in the county and prison, man, that thing is loud. Listen, homie, after the first month of me being there locked up, I got used to hearing it, so I was able to sleep. But the first month, well, I'll say like the first couple of weeks, listening to them toilets flush, it would wake me up. But once you're there for a certain amount of time, you get so used to hearing toilets flushing, it don't even wake you up no more. It don't even bother you no more. You know, you're desensitized to the toilet flushing because you hear it all day, every day, all damn night, all damn day. Somebody always on the toilet boo-booing, and you got to hear them loud-ass toilets flushing. Let me tell you something. Yeah.
If you want to write letters to your woman and to your family, that costs money. The visits over the phone, that costs money. You see? Yeah, it's hard. It's pressure. And then you sitting in that cell, them doors slamming, boom. Your celly farting, shitting, and pissing. You got to smell that every day. You see? People in there fighting. You going through all that for something that you agreed to do with somebody that's not even trying to get you a lawyer. And in your mind, you believe that they got enough money to get you a lawyer. No. mama and them on the phone. Hey, you calling the crib? Yeah, mama in the hospital, bro. What happened, man? You know, she getting sick and things like that, man. Yeah, man, you know, daddy here in the hospital too, man. You know, somebody just stole his car. All these problems are happening while you're sitting there still. You ain't got nothing to medicate yourself. Ain't no popping no.
I do the same thing at home. Listen, man, there's a lot of habits that I picked up on being locked up that I brought back home. You make up your bed before you go to eat. You know, they call it for chow. You know, this is what they said for dogs, man. Line it up for chow. Like, what the hell is chow? They ain't feed no damn dogs. Hell yeah, we worse than dogs. People, like I said, homie, people feed their dogs better than what they feed us in the county or in the penitentiary. So you're waking up to the bullhorn. There's intercoms every day. You hear intercoms going off. You hear alarms going off because a riot then cracked off in the next dorm. So the deputies, the COs got to rush to the next dormitory or to the next cell block because a riot is going on over there. You hear intercoms. You're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning with an intercom telling you to line it up for chow to feed you this dog food. Well, it ain't even dog food. Like I said, hey, listen, you got people who feed their dogs better than the food that they feed the prisoners. You got dogs that eat better than what the inmates eat. I'm telling you. So when you're waking up 5 o'clock in the morning to an intercom loud as hell telling you to line it up for chow, man, you looking like, man, how in the hell I end up in this situation, man? You start shaking your head, said, damn, I ain't never coming back in here if I can get up. Damn, God, get me up out of this situation. You start begging God to get you up out of this situation, not because you're scared. You don't want to live under those conditions because it's inhuman. It's not. Prison and county is not fit for humans. People treat their dogs better than, than how the inmates get treated in jail. So that's another reason why people snitch. That's a whole nother reason why people they tell. Prison and county jail life will break you spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And it'll break you financially if you got to spend money on lawyers. You got to put money on the phone. Jail life could break you. I've seen it happen. I've seen some of the illest killers break down emotionally. They thinking about their family. They're thinking about their children. Your mama might be sick. You can't go see your mama in the hospital. You got to call the phone. Yeah, whoop-de-whoop went to the hospital, such and such, and you locked up and you can't do nothing about it. It's a terrible feeling. It's a terrible feeling, man. It makes you second guess everything that you did. You got to reconsider everything. You got to say, damn, man, was it really worth it? I'm doing all this and doing that, not knowing that I'm going to land in this place and I'm facing the possibility of never coming home. Nah, homie.
Pills, ain't no smoking, ain't no drinking and all that old type of stuff. No, you got to sit there and deal with reality. Yeah. And then you looking at the charge papers. They talking about life? Wait a minute, I didn't kill nobody though. Why it say life? But we ain't shoot nothing. It was just a robbery. And they want to give us life. The rest of my life. I'm a young man. I'm in my 20s. You see what I'm saying? They going through all that pressure right now today. They going through all that. And when a lot of these type of guys, when it's more than one person on the case, guys start to break down. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell y'all how it happened.
Exactly. You waiting on the next court date. You're stressing, bro. Come on, homie. You don't know what it's like to be shackled to the next man, walking like slave. Let me tell you something, homie. When you get cuffed up and they put you on that bus and you got to go to court and they got you shackled to the next man and you walking like a damn slave. Your wrist is shackled. Your ankles are shackled. They got another shackle around your waist. So your feet, you got shackles on your feet. You got shackles on your wrist and you're walking to prison like a damn slave. I mean, you walking to your court date like a slave. You know how when you go to court, right? You already been in jail for a couple of months. You're going back and forth to court. You're shackled up like an animal. They put you on that bus and take you to court. Then you're sitting in a holding tank for hours. Man, let me tell you something. Leading up to that court date, you're stressed out. You don't know how much time you're going to get. You don't know what that judge is going to say when you go to court. So you talk about sleepless nights, eating nasty food, people farting, toilets flushing all day and night. You got to put money on the phone to call home. You're eating some of the nastiest food that you done ever ate in your life. People feed their dogs better than that. So like I'm saying, homie, the prison lifestyle will break you down. I done seen prison and county break some of the toughest individuals, broke them spiritually, broke them mentally, broke them emotionally, and some even got broke on financially, because you think about all the money you got to spend on an attorney, legal defense, all the money you got to put on the phone to talk to your people. It's stressful. Some of the most stress that you can ever endure, some of the most stress that you can ever imagine dealing with. I'm telling you, homie, I'm speaking from experience. The reason I can talk like this with so much passion, because I know what it's like speaking from experience. Going back and forth to court, lockdown, eating food worse, you know, let's go.
One person starts snitching. And once that one person starts snitching, this is how it go. It was just a robbery. And they want to give us life. The rest of my life. I'm a young man. I'm in my 20s. You see what I'm saying? They going through all that pressure right now today. They going through all that. And when a lot of these type of guys, when there's more than one person on the case, guys start to break down. I'm going to tell y'all how it happened. One person starts snitching. And once that one person starts snitching, this is how it go. When the lawyer come and see the other co-defendants, the other guys on the case, they gonna say, I got some bad news. Bad news? What do you mean bad news? Everything that's happening is bad news. And you mean to tell me you got some more bad news? Sorry, I got you.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's bad news every day just waking up in this mother effer. You mean to tell me your attorney say, man, we got some bad news for you? You read a good book that night. You thinking you're going to have a better day. You trying to make the best out of prison. You got some commissary. You didn't talk to one of your bras. She talking about putting money on your books. And then you wake up the next day and the attorney say, hey, man, unfortunately, man, I got some more bad news. You like, God damn, I don't need no more bad news. I'm already living in hell. And you got some more bad news. God damn.
All right, I got to tell you, got more bad news. Co-defendants, the other guys on the case, they going to say, I got some bad news.
Yeah.
Bad news? What do you mean bad news?
Yeah.
Everything that's happening is bad news. And you mean to tell me you got some more bad news? I'm sorry, I got to tell you, you got more bad news. Hey, your co-defendant, Ray Sean, he's testifying against you guys. He's saying everything. He's telling everything. Yeah, the guns, he's telling where the guns is at. Yeah. The clothes, he's telling about that too. And once they hear that, listen to me. For those of you who have ever been told on before by a close homie, it's a feeling that you can't describe. All I can say is that it hurts. I'm talking about like your stomach drops. And when you leave from that meeting with your lawyer, it's like you walking on air, because you knowing like, I'm not going home now for sure. I thought I could have, wiggled around a little bit, but now they got him testifying against all of us, and he giving them important evidence, corroborating the crime as if the video is not enough. You go back to that cell, you sick. And then you got to go in that cell and you got to sit there with a stranger that you don't even know. And you want to talk to somebody. You want to tell somebody what's going on. And a lot of the times, them brothers, they would tell their cellmate. And then their cellmate would go tell the prosecuting attorney. You see, I'm talking about it's depression on top of depression, stressing all throughout the day. And when that stuff right there get to happening, then you start thinking about yourself and you say, shit, he told.
Hell yeah, nigga.
I might as well tell too.
Right.
You see? And then they do the same thing to another guy. And then he say, shit, I can't. Then he tells. And so then you got co-defendant on co-defendant on co-defendant snitching. And then it'd be a couple of guys that trying to stand down. And once they get it like that, the prosecution ain't offering no deals now. They got overwhelming evidence. They're not giving no deals now. They're like, nah, yeah, we got them. Big 30 and POOH SHIESTY, look, we trying to give y'all life. We don't got no deals for y'all. Your deal is life. You gonna take it? No, I ain't taking that. Well, we'll take you to trial. We got the guns, we got the clothes, we got your co-defendants testifying, we got the video. Yeah, we finna bang you. You see? These boys done put themselves in a fucked up situation. Excuse my language, but that's what they done did. They have too much stuff going against them to try to fight the United States of America because that's
they're not gonna win, homie. Like trying to fight with all this evidence is a no-brainer. You're not gonna win. They got cooperating witnesses. They have surveillance. They have a video of you uploading the damn crime. You recorded the armed robbery. You recorded the kidnapping. It's the nail in the coffin. You recorded the armed robbery and the kidnapping. That's the nail in the damn coffin. You're not going to get away with this. You take it to trial, you're going to get life in prison. That's the only thing that's going to happen. You're not going to beat it.
Fighting the federal government. You see? Yeah, no, they money don't run out. Like the state, we're on the budget. No, the feds print money. You see, no, they can investigate all day long.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, these boys is cooked, fried, deep. It's over with for them. And for you young brothers, I'm talking about, look, something this simple right here can end up getting you life in the penitentiary. While your homeboy's telling you, hey man, come ride with me, man. This man done cheated me, man. Look, we finna just go hit a lick real quick. Y'all come help me rob this fool. Yeah, okay. Then it turned into a federal case, a federal kidnapping, a federal aggravated robbery.
Right.
Now you're looking at life in the penitentiary. So be careful. Don't be so quick to take on your friends' beefs. Don't. As a matter of fact, don't even be involved in none of that madness in the first place. Because look, we gotta understand something. Even though he gathered up all his homies to go do a robbery, robberies don't always end in robbery. Your friend can come and get you to go do a robbery right now today, and you can end up getting killed during that robbery. Or you can end up killing somebody during that robbery. So there's 2 ways, matter of fact, 3 ways that you can end up losing your life trying to help a friend commit a robbery. And those 3 ways is this right here. You can kill somebody. They're gonna give you life in penitentiary for that right there. You can get killed and end up in somebody's graveyard, or you can go to the penitentiary and decay the rest of your life in somebody's prison for trying to help out one of your homeboys. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think,
hey man, shout out to Hood Educated, man. He's a real OG. You know, you can tell he's an OG that been through some things, because the only way you can speak with that much passion and understanding is you got to go through something to get this knowledge. You got to go through something to get this wisdom. You know, the way I can speak on how the stress, how people deal with the stress from being locked up, I'm speaking from experience. That's why I can speak with so much passion. That's how I'm able to give you so much understanding about what's really going on in the living conditions when you're locked up. Take heed to the knowledge, take heed to the wisdom. Like he said, I done seen several of people get life in prison for trying to help out their homeboys. Hey man, such and such them done just read over here, man. They done shot at my cousin and my sister now, man. We were standing outside, man. Once you pull up and let's go ride. So now you got a decision to make. Do you slide with the homie or do you say, nah, man, that ain't got nothing. I got a family, I got to feed my kids. I can't get involved in that. Either you're going to say that or you're going to say, okay, you're going to pull up to assist your homeboy. So you assist your homeboy, you pull up to go put in that work, you get caught. Now everybody looking at life in the penitentiary, all because you made a bad decision because you wanted to help the homie slide on some other dudes. You wanted to help the homie to go ride on some of these fools, right? And I done seen so many cases just like that. Now you're looking at life in the penitentiary all because you wanted to help out the homie, right? You see what I'm saying? So, hell yeah. Shout out to Hood Educated, man. You gonna go help out the homie?
POOH SHIESTY got to have going out sad badge on Hall of Fame because that footage dropped to him robbing Gucci Mane and making him sign over that contract.
You dropping?
Let them know you dropping me,
I
bro.
drop you.
No, I said.
Who should I say drop from 1017?
Shout out to Ain't never did no police, none of that, bro. Tell them what's going on.
Bro, we just did that. That's done.
What you do?
You drop. You said you want to be dropped. You drop.
You signed the paper.
I signed the paper. It's done.
But seeing that video,
No, that's just dumb, man. You like, hey, man, tell them what you done did, man. And Gucci responded and said, man, I just told you, man. I dropped it. You dropped. You free. No, man, say it louder for the camera so the fans and people can understand what's really going on. Gucci says it again. Yeah, man, you dropped. It's a done deal. You dropped out of the contract. And you got old boy standing there with the Draco.
I asked myself, what's the logic behind recording yourself commit violent felonies while on house arrest with your dad, and you think because you strong-armed Gucci to sign over that contract that you was going to walk away from that situation free from the contract with no consequence? Like every action has a reaction, but I guess that's not meant for me to understand. Now with that video, POOH SHIESTY has received a lot of warranted backlash because that foolishness he pulled with Gucci is diabolical. Now, one of the first people I seen react to the POOH SHIESTY footage was Lil Woody. And I must say I 100% agree because POOH SHIESTY was definitely tripping.
Hey, Gucci, man. You ain't did nothing wrong. You ain't did nothing wrong. You won. You won. The fool, everything he did was show he was a fool. You recorded yourself. You self-snitched on yourself. Y'all be gangster so bad, that video just pissed me off. Y'all young to tighten up. Gucci Man won. He still got his freedom, his beautiful wife, his beautiful kids, and that beautiful bank account. Gucci Man, out of that situation like a player, like a boss, like Will. And get what? Still smoking on whoever you want to smoke about, man. Salute to you, Gucci Man. Whoever mad. So, it is what it is.
Make sure you hit that like button so we can get back in that algorithm. I need a quick 100 likes. Once we pass 100 likes, I need a quick 500 likes. Once we pass 500 likes, I need a quick 1,000 likes. Hit that hype. We're up to 40,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications so you can be updated every time I drop. But after that POOH SHIESTY footage drop, I seen academics react to it as well. And he made a crazy analogy to what POOH
with a signature in black document. Left, exhibit 1, at the start of the video, it shows POOH SHIESTY's dad holding a document in the recording room. Okay, here's the document. Yo, this is, I can't even believe they recorded this video. And by the way, I can't believe they kept this video. This is a stupid crime. Also featured are Williams Jr. in black, right here, and RD in yellow, Gucci. Then center, Glover holding the Draco in front of the recording room door, and it shows At 11 seconds, it shows Gucci releasing him from the contract. After releasing him from the contract with a signature and a verbal release. So it looked like they forced Gucci to say on camera, holding a Draco to him, say that he's released. He's released.
Right. That's why they kept saying, say it. Say it. Let everybody know. Tell them what's going on, man.
He says, all right, he's released from his contract. They film him saying it, and they film the guy holding him to gunpoint. This is unbelievable, Chad. POOH SHIESTY then said, oh, which is crazy. POOH SHIESTY robbed Gucci of approximately $450,000 worth of personal property, including his wedding band, a watch, pair of earrings, cash he was carrying in his pocket, and with the signed release and his jewelry in his hand. So now Shiesty got everything in his hand. They forced Gucci back into the control room at gunpoint with his hands raised. There, the violence continued, with Wright Jr. and other two conspirators blocking the door with firearms drawn, while the co-conspirators robbed the cameraman MM and BP at gunpoint. During the offense, MM described that he was choked to the point of near consciousness, while BP recounted to the investigators that it was Lontrell Williams Jr., a.k.a. POOH SHIESTY, who held the barrel of the Draco to the back of his head. POOH SHIESTY and co-conspirators subsequently exited the larger office building, encompassing the music studio through one of the set of doors, while RD, MM, CW, and TD left through the other and called 911.
Now, Wack 100 has been on Gucci Mane's side of it from day one, and he stood on Gucci Mane, did the right thing. But with this footage being leaked, he went crazy on POOH SHIESTY because he involved his dad and Big 30 into this craziness. And he called POOH SHIESTY a rat because POOH SHIESTY took self-snitching to a whole different level.
POOH SHIESTY's the rat. He's the bozo. This dude instructed somebody on his team to film this whole ordeal. There's no way you guys are going to administer the distaste for Gucci Mane's action and that's as if POOH SHIESTY's action isn't just as guilty. Nobody should have no amnesty, no feeling sorry for this situation, because with or without Gucci Mane's statement, the video was gonna tell the tale anyway. Yeah, he made a statement. That was his choice. Gucci Mane in his head, this ain't nothing street, this business. This ain't no birds on the table, no pounds on the table. This ain't no guns, no perks, no none of that, no bank robbery money on the table. This is business. And I'm gonna handle this as a corporate exec should. That's his demeanor, that's his thoughts. And as a man, long as he stand on it, it don't really matter what nobody else got to say. Because nobody wakes up and walks in his skin and lays down and goes to sleep with him, but him, and that individual that he has surrendered his trust to, whoever that may be. As we know, is more than likely his wife and his children. So he gonna do what's best for them, not what's best for the naysayer on the internet. But let's look at POOH SHIESTY. Can we agree? Huh? Can we agree that you recorded a kidnapping, a robbery, an assault, an extortion? You recorded. What was you gonna do? Was you gonna minister to society this? $59.99? Like, bro, like, at the end of the day, man, if a person ain't saying, this ain't no crash out, this is the dumbest blooper is fake, this ain't gangster. What gangster you know is gonna record the commission of a crime that could carry 20, 30, 40 years. That's gangster? Nah. That's a dummy. Now let's talk about the facts. Big 30, none of them had a bail. None of them had a bail prior to. And before we get to that, Wack told y'all a month ago, they have the tape, they have the contract. How do you know? Because I talk to people. And people talk to me, whether directly or indirectly. I know what I know. So prior to them doing this investigation and discovering and finding this tape that belonged to Big 30, prior to them discovering the contract that was picked up and handled by the father, who I released the documents on immediately when this happened, that he ratted over 19 years ago in 2007. He got a 5K1 status. Those documentations was released by the exposers, myself, on the Hunter side of Clubhouse, as well as should be on the internet, Google somewhere. All these people had a no bond. So let's do the math. You have a no bond when all they have is the statements of Gucci Mane, the security guard, the DJ, the best friend, so on and so forth. No bond.
No bond.
Now they discover these things, this tape that belongs to Big 30, and they discover this video that shows the father in Staples or whatever it was putting together this contract. The first thing they're gonna do is pull Big 30 out into the interrogation room. Pull the father out into the interrogation room. They're gonna show Big 30, this is you, this is your phone, you were the one recording. They're gonna show the father, this is you on the recording that we have, holding the contract. This is you telling your son when he asks you, is everything cool on the contract? And you looking at it saying, go have him dated. Now, what do you have to say about this? If Big 30 and POOH Shiesty's daddy does what we call keeping it gangster and says, I ain't got nothing to say. You can suck I plead the fifth. Okay, no problem. They continue on, send them back to their cell with a no bail, choose them charges, and we'll see you in court. But if they're ready and willing, if they ready and willing to cooperate, it's like training a dog. You want him to sit, you give him a treat. You want him to walk, you give him a treat.
Shout out to Royalty for the 30 on the Cash App. Shout out to Leslie for the 25 on the Cash App. Right? Shout out to we got some more people too, man. I appreciate the love and support that I'm getting from all my people out there. I truly appreciate it. Let's get it.
First thing first, you give us what we want, we'll give you that bond.
Mm-hmm.
How did you go from not having a bond when they didn't have any of these things to them discovering these things and getting these things to all of a sudden you have a bond? That USA is gonna give 2, 3 of them a chance to dance before they close the doors of negotiation. They have everybody dead bang. Now, do I think the buck stops here with Gucci? No.
No.
6 dudes in there with no attorneys. One of them got caught with multiple firearms at the time of his apprehension and arrest. And nobody has mentioned these things. There's a reason for that. The tape, the statements. POOH SHIESTY, we got you on this one. You other 6, you know, Daddy and Big 30 out there having the time of their life. We working with them. We got 3 slots, maybe 4. 2 of them been used up. 1 or 2 of y'all might get some action. And they gonna go to the one who phone call they've been listening to, who they've been hearing the baby mama cry and say he losing things and this is that and that is this and this and that. And they gonna go to them specifically and say, we know you was involved in this. We know you on the other side of the camera behind POOH SHIESTY when he's talking to Mr. Gucci Mane. And we know you guys have firearms. We know these things. We ain't really tripping that. Y'all was doing what you was told to do. But what we want to know is where the body's at.
All in all, POOH SHIESTY tripped himself off the street. I'd be lying if I said this the first time I heard of somebody record themselves committing felonies, but for you to be a multi-millionaire on house arrest and you believe using street tactics in the corporate world is going to work is beyond me. This is business. You have to fight labels with lawyers, not guns. But I guess POOH SHIESTY thought he was bigger than the program. But we can all agree.
Yeah, you got, like, shout out to the clips, man. Shout out to my people, man. This is Charleston White, man. Stinky K and Charleston White. Let's see what they see. Charleston. This is when you can listen to Charleston White. Charleston White is an informant, so he know what it's like to tell. He know what it's like to tell under these circumstances. So Charleston White has experience when it comes to being an informant. Let's see what the informant Charleston had to say about this.
With the Muslim, I'm betting on 30. Gucci Mane, I think Atlanta go down there, y'all. Atlanta had their time to shine. Atlanta should have kept it player. They went gangster. Oh, they've been downhill ever since. Ever since Atlanta started putting tight britches on and tattoos on the front of their thighs and things like little baby them and wearing them crop top shirts. And ever since the jeans got tight, Atlanta been going downhill rapidly. Not bullshit. Rollo tried to save them with the Muslim look, with the Taliban, with the Pakistan look. Rollo tried to save them. They were coming back. They were getting back Rollo. Then here come little baby and Thug, push Rollo and them out the way and put back on them mini skirts. And boy, it seemed like it's been a curse on Atlanta. Until y'all come out your mini skirts, Atlanta, won't nothing good come to you. That's what Celie told Mr. And Mr. Life been up ever since. Listen, God damn it, boy, listen. POOH SHIESTY now have solidified itself as the Tupac of this generation.
Look like Big 30 then got right back to the studio as soon as he got released from the feds on that bond that he had got denied for at first. Now everybody is talking about how POOH SHIESTY lawyers say that the feds ain't got no evidence on him. Now it look like Big 30, he having fun. He just signed a deal. He posting the Iraqis.
Now you think Big 30 gonna use that money to get all those people legal defense? Hell nah. Big 30 got to save that money for his own legal defense. Big 30 ain't thinking about saving nobody. Big 30 is thinking about saving his own ass. Now he's flossing cash. He just got a record deal. Big 30 gonna save himself. He ain't really worried about nobody else.
Khakis, as y'all see, man. Y'all get in the comment section and let me know y'all thoughts and opinion on this. Hit that like button, but let's see. They say they don't like Charleston White. They say he do this and that, but the boy predicted a lot of stuff, man. And I'm gonna enlighten
The
your
reason
memory.
why Charleston can predict stuff because he's a snitch.
I know I ain't just see that on the street preaching. Man, man, what's wrong with you? Man, the Lord ain't called him to do that. And when Lord I wonder what Gucci thinking about today. I wonder what Gucci thinking. Cause you know right now he can't get paid. He can't get paid for them streams. POOH SHIESTY getting. Cause they made him say they forced him to release. So he got to go back. Now I wonder what everybody thinking right now. I want to say, listen, POOH SHIESTY mug shot. Let me know he with the. That's the new John Gotti. John Gotti walked it all the way to the rest of these want to say, let me out the car. Don't let me out the car. See, the rest of you is Trey. Rest of you is Trey on Boys in the Hood. Nigga, y'all done got out the car. Y'all ain't no dope boys, nigga. Talking that G. You a Trey. You done got out the car. POOH SHIESTY still in the car, nigga. That's one thing I like. See, even God respected like POOH SHIESTY. I remember when I was a little bitty boy, and they used to talk to God, talk, and say, God don't like lukewarm. God wants you hot or cold. He don't want you in the middle. The Bible say he spit you out. He spit you out. That's what it say. So God ain't spit POOH SHIESTY out. And who do God take care of? Who do God take special care of? Fools, babies, and elders. Y'all seem like y'all got some sense now. Now y'all don't want to be fooled. That's why I play the fool, nigga. God take good care of me playing the fool. And he gonna take good care of POOH SHIESTY. Guess what the feds came out and say? I ain't never heard the feds come out and say, hey y'all. I ain't never heard them say this. In all my years of being a lawman, I ain't never heard us come out and say, not the feds, no way. I ain't never heard us come out and say, hey y'all. We ain't got no hard evidence on the boy. The only reason we got the boy because he on probation, on the federal probation, and he been thumbing his nose at us. Thumbing his, yeah. Other than that, we ain't got no evidence on the boy. Don't y'all know if goddamn Lintrail, boy, what's that baby beat this? If that baby beat this, him and 30 come out. And 30 about to lose some weight. Cause he look like he went in there hungry. 30 look like he was hungry. 30 look like he ain't. Yeah, 30 look like I'm hungry. Say, have I missed dinner yet? Can I get a sandwich? You know, if they'll get a boy a sandwich if you're hungry. Hope he'll talk and say something. But yeah, now, I got my money on SHIESTY. I'm putting my money on SHIESTY. He go back in like 6'9", 90 days, and he back out hollering second day out on the Fed. I'm betting on SHIESTY. Now on the back end, I'm betting Gucci win with the, you know, cause he ain't gonna be able to keep him on the contract no more. Yeah. Yeah, come on over with me, Gucci. There's no way Gucci can recruit from this. Matter of fact, it's a whole bunch of seats over here for you used to be. The has-beens, y'all can hang y'all jersey up. Like Rollo. Rollo a has-been. He can go in the Hall of Fame. Used to be something, but you got a scarlet and mark on your name. I'm gonna usher you to your seat. Come on. I ain't gonna hold your hand, but I'm gonna usher you to your seat, Gucci. I looked at the DOJ report. Gucci cooperated. They don't got his name in there. They almost got him in there like a confidential informant. Normally they have a CI, but they got Gucci in there as RD. So we ain't calling him Gucci no more. That's RD, y'all. We ain't calling the boy Gucci no more. Boy, that's RD. RD done went in there and told them, boy. RD told them people the clothing that Lintrail was wearing, Junior was wearing, that Junior boy was wearing. Lintrail did that. Yeah, that's what he told me. He described in trail. RD is a rotten. No. And boy, listen. Say, listen to me.
Charleston got experience as a snitch. So he got a lot of experience about who's gonna tell because he told. So he got enough common sense to know when somebody else gonna tell. He know.
RD wrong, y'all. RD was supposed to keep in the streets according to Lil Baby. When Lil Baby and Thug them caught Offset outside of Magic City and made the boy strip, he put it in the song. Turn the boy into him. He was talking about Offset. The kids here keep it in the street. So they gonna keep it in the street. They kept it so street. Big POOH SHIESTY went to Office Max. Like, listen, they kept it so, listen, POOH SHIESTY them so free. The contract, when they put the gun to Gucci head and made Gucci sign the contract, that contract comes from Office Max. Say, no, man, they made RD sign an Office Max contract. But Big Shiesty shit, you know, it's like getting a fake check stub when you going to go get an apartment. Say, can you call and print me up a fake check stub? They done went to Office Max and print up the contract and made the boy sign, or made RD sign the contract from the Office Max. That's how the Feds got the footage. Say this, man, them Feds so bad, they'll catch you walking out the door and rewind the tape. And rewind the motherfucking tape and have you stopping everywhere. Just rewind it. Say, but listen, all I'm saying is, man, RD, y'all moving the goalpost for RD. But after today, from what the Feds released, they give Daddy a bond, $250,000 bond. Strict home conditions. The judge still went through with the indictment paper with the charges. Cause they gonna try to get him on relevant conduct. But they ain't gonna be able to get him. That boy went and got one of the baddest white boy Jew lawyers in Dallas, Texas. You think Brian Steele something? Brian Steele beat a bunch of black folk. That's easy for a white boy to do with a woman judge who he had already gave some money to on a campaign thing. So it's easy to come in here and beat these. And they ain't got their together because they wasn't working in conjunction with the police department. So it's easy for the white boy with a few on his team, some jurors, to beat them, okay? This northern district, this federal northern district down here in Texas with Judge McBride and all that different kind of, no, they got judges down here in the 80s. Say, in the 80s, still sentencing from the 50s. No, this gonna be a different ball game. But then here's on the flip side. It's a good old boy system down here in Texas. It's a good old boy system down here in Texas. Now the Feds don't want no money. They want check or some information. 3 of them ain't gonna have no lawyer. They gonna get them a little lawyer, but them ain't go, yeah. Back to what I was saying. That lawyer.
We're not listening to him. What we're listening to was this. Charleston White is an informant, right? So he knows what an informant is going to do. So we're not listening to him because we just like him or none of that, bro. He's breaking down. See, listen, Charleston, listen, he already know who gonna snitch because he told. So he's giving you insight about what's gonna happen because he's dealt with the criminal justice system. He went to jail with co-defendants. He knows what it's like to go to jail with co-defendants. So if anybody knows about who's gonna snitch, it's gonna be Charleston White. So Charleston White has predicted what was going to happen in this case because he has experience when it comes to snitching, when it comes to testifying. So yeah, man. So think about it. When the Feds use you to cooperate, do they like you? No, it's just business. We don't like this person, but we're going to use him to solve this case. We're going to use him to get all the details all the intimate details of this case. We don't like him, we'll send him up the river as well. But as long as he's willing to cooperate, we'll work out a deal.
White. Why you say that, huh? He ain't never lost. Brian still got a few. This man he's never lost an appeal, and he never lost to say he bad. He bad. I don't think I want this group locked up. Now, Unc gotta change your heart for POOH. I don't want him in Big 30 locked up. He's some of the bravest young. I think this is me, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale all over again. I think these two look like Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington when they started them West Side Crips. These look, they done took down RD. You know how hard it was? And then the feds came out and said, hey, Lintrell and 30s didn't have no guns. 30 ain't touched no guns. So I think the most they gonna get 30 on is some probation violation. Be gone maybe a year or so. I'm betting on 30.
Now this whole situation then blew over. It got everybody everywhere. They don't know if POOH SHIESTY, if they got a video of POOH SHIESTY. They don't know if they got a video of Big 30 holding the door. It been about 10 different stories on this whole situation. But at the end of the day, I need you to let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe to.
Hit that like button, man. Excuse me, man. Listen, we gonna get up out of here, man. We done did enough for the day. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate the birthday gifts. I appreciate all the love and support. Shout out to Carnell for the 10. I didn't want to forget you. Malik sent us a 70, man. So I want to say salute to Malik for sending a 70 on the Cash App for the birthday gift, man. I appreciate you. I take it just like that. Right? So we're going to get up out of here. I'll be back with some more content. I got to take care of some business. I'm gone.